bed in Dr. Pitre's ward. He had just come from a long journey on foot and was exhausted, but that was not the cause of his tears. He wept because he could not prevent himself from departing on a trip when the need took him. He deserted family, work, and daily life to walk as fast as he could, straight ahead, sometimes doing 70 kilometers a day on foot, until in the end he would be arrested for vagrancy and thrown in prison. And now, the man who walked away.
Part 1. Someone comes. It was as though he had always been there, haunting the landscape, if only you were paying attention. If it were possible to see the final movement of Beethoven's String Quartet No. 16 in F major, that's what he was like, said the violinist from the Leipzig orchestra. The man he saw walking along the Weisse Elster River reminded him of the note Beethoven wrote on the score underneath those eerie opening chords, Muss es sein, muss es sein, and the note he wrote under the joyous, faster chords, swelling in response, Es muss sein. The walking man was the question and the answer. Must it be? Must it be? It must be. It wasn't unusual to see a man out walking, even as the railways spiderwebbed their way across Europe. People still walked to get somewhere, and to get nowhere. But the people who claimed to have seen him, this was later, after he became known as le voyageur de docteur, after he disappeared altogether, agreed there was something different about this man. Everyone who saw him said so. "Oh, yes, I've seen him," said the woman in the lowlands, who spotted him making his way along a ridge as she hung wash out to dry for her brothers away carving Tournai stone into baptismal fonts. The coal miner in Liège, blinking into daylight, saw him walking in the valley. The baker in Koblenz saw him cross two of that village's 4 bridges. The hotel maid in Mulhouse, that Alsatian city of 1,000 chimneys, glimpsed him from the window walking through the public square as she snapped a clean sheet across a bed. Even when he was right there, she said, he was somewhere else. He shimmered on the cusp of appearing, or was he disappearing? It was not surprising that the violinist saw him walking along the banks of the Weisse Elster. The walking man was often spotted near rivers, making his way up and down the hilly streets of Poitiers, at the confluence of the Clain and the Boivre, striding through Bayonne, at the confluence of the Nive and the Ardour, through Valence d'Agen by the Bargelonne, through Maastricht by the Meuse, through Cologne by the Rhine, through Prague by the Vltava. If anybody had asked, the man, whose name was Albert, would say the song of his body walking was a silky mist. Nobody asked. Il revient, the rivers called to him, he returns. The silky mist was his constant companion as he discovered himself walking, not knowing how he got there, under the soft spring sun, into summer's glare, through the muted fall and into the hard chill of winter, when the trees are bare. When Albert walked along the paths to forges, when he walked the tracks to mines and quarries, when he walked the causeways from village to farm to town to city, when he walked along the trails to market for glassmakers and the merchants of salt, flax, hemp, linen, and yarn, when he walked along the administrative highways, when he passed recruits and vagabonds, rag-and-bone merchants and chimney-sweeps, when he walked along pilgrimage routes to miraculous fountains or the chapel of a healing saint, when he walked past men shouldering their dead along roads overgrown with tall grass to the cemetery. Wherever he walked, he was filled with a wonder so fierce. It was as if he were being burned alive from its astonishing...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.